Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Read Aloud. I know many of you guessed that it was me since I always do the first read aloud of the month, but I was really hoping that you would pay attention to one of the clues that I gave, and that is that I love to garden because it's connected to the book that I chose for you. Now, I do love all types of gardening, but the one type of plant that I love taking care of the most are my hanging plants. And this one that I have here is really extra special because it has a nest and bird eggs inside, and I cannot wait until I wake up one morning and hear those little baby chirping sounds. So today I chose a book for you called Mel Fell, and this is about a bird who decides to try and fly, but instead he starts to fall, and all of his animal friends try and help him. Let's see if they're able to save him, or if he takes a very, very difficult tumble. So this is Mel Fell by Corey R. Tabor. Now look how it's written. I loved this, and when I was trying to select a book, I knew that I wanted a book that was connected to gardening and possibly birds, but I also love the way that the author wrote this story. Take a look. So it's written up and down, right? Instead of turning the pages like this, I'm going to be turning the pages like this. Quite clever, huh? One day, when Mama was away, Mel decided it was time to learn to fly. She had been in the nest for long enough. "Aren't you scared?" asked her sister Pim. "Yes," said Mel, "but I won't let that stop me." I love her confidence. She looked down. "It sure is a long drop," said her brother Pip. "Well," said Mel, "I've got wings." Mel was scared, and it was a long drop, but today was the day she would fly. "See you soon," she told her siblings. She jumped, she flipped, she spread her wings, and then she fell. That's not how it's supposed to work. Look at the owls. They look very concerned for Mel. Mel fell and fell. Yikes. The squirrels tried to catch her. They really did. They'd grown quite fond of those squeaky little chirpers upstairs. Blast, nuts, oof, aye! But it was no use. They missed her by a whisker. "Zee-zil, zazoo," said the bees, but they barely slowed her down. "We will save you." I think the bird was just a little too heavy for those bees. Even the spider lent a hand, 8 of them. And the little fly says, "I'm free." But still, Mel fell. "Do not fear, helpless little bird. I will catch you," says the snail. And she fell and fell. Even the ants tried to help her, but no such luck. She continued to fall. "Oh no," the ladybug says. Splash into the water. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a bird dive into the water like that from a tree. Mel dived into the water. She snapped her beak and caught a fat little fish. Then it says, "Turn the book." Look to see what happens. I think it was so clever as to how the author wrote this story here. She kicked her legs, she wiggled her tail feathers, she spread her wings, and then it says this way up. Watch what happens. Look what she did. She flew. Oh my goodness, and with a fish. Mel flew and flew. As Mel flew by, the spider clapped her hands, all 8 of them. The bees said, "Huzzah, huzzoo." The squirrels raced her to the top. Mama was waiting when she got there. I flew, said Mel. And now look at the fish. I'm flying. Back down to the water. I knew you could, said Mama. I knew I could too, said Mel. Do not fear, helpless little fish. I will catch you. Do you remember who sounded like that before? The snail. The snail now wants to help the fish. I wonder if he'll be more successful. Now, I love this piece too because it teaches me a little bit about these birds who do dive into the water and catch fish. Mel is a kingfisher. Kingfishers catch fish by diving into the water from the tree branches or wires. Many kingfishers nest in tunnels they dig in earth banks near water, while others nest in the tree hollows. Some even live in old termite nests. A young kingfisher probably doesn't catch a fish the first time they leave the nest, but then Mel is a very special bird. I hope you enjoyed that story. And I want to thank all of you for helping around the Mitchell School with those beautiful gardens. They are making our school look absolutely gorgeous. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.